Welcome to Dimapur today. আমি খান ইতিয়া ডিমাপুর ডিস্ট্রিক্ট লাগা ডিসি কমপ্লেক্স পুরনা সাইড পৰা ইতিয়া নিউজ আমি খান চুমুকি ডিমাতে শিফট হওয়ালা কথাতে ডিমাপুরতে ভেরিয়াস সিভিল সোসাইটি অর্গানাইজেশনস খান একদম প্রটেস্ট খান চলি আছে আৰু এভৰি নাও এণ্ড দেন প্ৰেছ ৰিলিজ মিডিয়াতে আমি খান পাই আছে তো আজি আমি খান একটা অপিনিয়ন ল'বলৈ কাৰণে আমি খান Kahuto Chishi Sumi তাই লগতে আইকিন আছে ইয়েস আমি খান কনভারসেশন স্টার্ট নকৰাকে আপুনি এনেকৈ কৈ দিব আমি খান বেছি মানুহ খান থাকে why only Kahuto opinion তাই লগতে একলা কিলে ল'বলৈ যায় ডিমাপুৰটো দেখান এনেকৈ বিভাৱনা থকা মানুহ থাকিব আমি খান তাই লগতে কিলে আহি কৰিলে আমি খান তাইৰ অনেষ্ট অপিনিয়ন আৰু তাই কেমেৰা টিভি ফেচটি আগেতে আহি কিনে তাই কথা ক'বলৈ একদম বল্ডনেছ দিখে এইটো কাৰণে আমি খান তাইকে এপ্ৰ'চ কৰোঁ থাকে এইটো নিচিনা আজি তাইলা অপিনিয়ন এইটো শিফটিং অফ ডিসি কমপ্লেক্সতে আৰু এতিয়া যোনটো চলি আছে এইটোৰ ওপৰতে অপিনিয়ন ল'বলৈ আছে য়েছ ছাৰ ৱেলকাম টু ডিমাপুৰ টুডে
Thank you for having me again.
Sir, আমি খান আজি your opinion আপুনি অপিনিয়ন ওপৰতে আহিছে তো আপুনি এতিয়া তৈলে যোনটো এতিয়া চিভিল সোসাইটি অৰ্গেনাইজেশনছ খান পৰা এতিয়া আমি খান শিফটিং তে এগেইনষ্ট যা আছে এইটো ওপৰতে আপুনি কি কথা আছে
There are many levels to this issue, and it reflects what is going wrong in Nagaland. The first is the outsourcing of government. Nagaland government, it's been many years. Disconnect tabi nolwe. Clear cut. They always consult the tribal hohos, the civil societies. And the reason is not because they want to feel the pulse of the people, but to appear to take the opinion of the people while formulating decisions. This is not only the Dimapur DC issue, but in every issue that Nagaland, every major crisis that Nagaland faces, always the civil societies will be involved. Now, who are these civil societies? How were they formed? Who heads them? We have to question that also. Who are these people? What are their backgrounds? Do they come from honest backgrounds? But we never do that. We just, somebody forms an organization, and then if say I am a shopkeeper, and then they form some commercial organization, by default I am a member, not by choice. And that is not how a society, a civil society functions. It is by consent. So that is one issue. Second is, this is just a simple government administrative matter. It is entirely at the discretion of the government. The third aspect again is, it is not a recent decision. When Dimapur district was formed in 1997, see, this is nothing to do with Rio, Angamis or Tenimias. It was formed during Dr. S.H.M.'s time, this district, with the proposed headquarters there, Chumur. So why don't they address that first? And to my knowledge, when Rio came to power in 2003, he delayed the shifting of the office. Now I don't know what has prompted him to suddenly try to shift it, but whatever the case may be. Now, when we are talking about population and the urban area and then that semi-rural area, forget that. How many times do you go to a DC's office? I've been Moksung and Dimapur, I've been living in both places. My whole life, I'm 56 years old now. I have not gone to both DC's office more than 20 times in my whole life. Because when you are an honest, straightforward citizen, there's not much you need from the government. Say you need a few ST certificates, things like that, or maybe renew some license. But there are people who make their money from the government. These people, they are like a ghost haunting a house, no? They haunt the government offices. Here in Dimapur, we have this middlemen, dalals, for many things. Say, case in example point, ILP. So these people, their livelihoods are disturbed. And the rest we just follow because somebody in our tribe happens to be there, objecting. What is the thing? Why can't the government shift there for convenience sake? Have the people near the DC's office tried crossing overbridge to Burma Camp, Purana Bazaar? During office hours, it takes you a minimum of 1 hour. Why is this congestion there? It's not only because of the DC's office, but this is a contributory factor. And when you can have two deputy commissioners of police, SP rank, why can't we have two? Just case in point. No? Delhi has 9 DCs, Delhi itself. Why are we so selfish that everything has to be in my place, near me, my convenience? So on both sides, I'm not talking only about the civil societies, but then on the other side, the government also is instigating some members, and then we have all this Jumudima union. When one side calls a ban, the other side says no. See, I'm talking about both sides, okay? It's not an issue. When the premise of a protest is when it is a popular protest, when it affects everyone. In future, if you have an issue, see, a band, the band is an Indian word. Have they heard about Garao? It's called picketing. If they object to the government's decision, picket the government offices. Why shut down the town? Who gave them the power to shut down the town? And why can't the government do anything? See, if this was a real government, they could have issued orders saying that any shop which is closed down, the license will be cancelled. Finished. Then let those calling for the ban come out, if they are men. Come out and try to beat up the shopkeepers for opening the shops. This is how a ban works, okay? But in Nagaland, to all bans, the shopkeepers are scared because every Tom, Dick and Harry will come. And if you're opening, then they will be fined, they will be beaten up, and the government does nothing. This is a non-issue from the beginning. The shifting of this DC's office, it's not a new issue. It has been there, and it will come up again. You mark my words. It will come up again.
Okay, so some organizations, they are suggesting that why not there be one urban DC and one rural. You do opposite of Niki Nega.
Yeah, no problem with that. See, why do we have this narrow frog in the well mentality? Why do we think that Dimapur is only this DC office, those living near the DC office communities? It is a huge. The reason it became a DC's office is because of overall area. Okay, it's not only population, area and population. So why can't those in the outskirts have the same access to government offices, those in the middle of the town? They've got access to the doctors, they've got access to the markets, they've got access, and they want access to the office also by themselves. They want these people to suffer. No, you think, okay, all those coming from, say, beyond that Chekia and Tilaka junction. No. Many come. Equal number comes from that side, if not more. Because those are the ones with genuine works in the DC's office. They're spending, say, average 1,000 people come from that side. Now, say, 7 kilometers average will take, okay, because they come from beyond also. So 1,000 people, 7 kilometers, that's 7,000 kilometers per day. The money they spend on fuel, and the most important, the man hours they spend. They take at least 2 hours to reach thing. So 2,000 man hours you lose. Just so that somebody can have the DC's office in their doorstep. But this government is just a thing, namesake government. It's been a long time. It is not totally this, not a question of BJP, NPF, NDPP and all that, okay? It's a question of the mental thinking of our politicians, which has been deteriorating since the 80s, 1980s. I'm not blaming Rio alone, okay? It was started in the 80s. Government has ceased functioning as a government. Their only concern is to take the funds which the center gives us and play all these games, consulting the horse, and the horse and the civil societies. They never tackle corruption, which is the cause of all this. They never speak on that. No? See, the only problem Nagas have with corruption is that they do not get a part of it, okay? You see those people protesting against corruption, no? Those are the ones who are jealous of the people enjoying the fruits of corruption. Nobody is talking about trying to control or to eradicate corruption.
Okay. So you are in favor of shifting or not?
See, it is a non-issue. It's not an issue. See, I'm not there. I'm not being paid, to study the population of the people there and on both sides, and then to see the logistics, who's facing what. I'm not being paid. That is for the government to do. The government should come up clearly. And who are these civil societies? Yeah? But the problem is, see, this is something which people do not understand. It is called moral authority. Okay, this is what is lacking in Nagaland. Law is there, but nobody has the moral authority anymore. Case in point, the government is so corrupt that even when cases of blatant corruption come up in the eyes of the public, they cannot take action. Because if I am a thief, I cannot accuse you of being a thief, no? Because you're also a thief, I'm also a thief. So we keep quiet. I lose the moral authority. The legal authority is there. Okay, the legal process is there, but when you do not have moral authority, you do not have the courage to implement the legal process. Because you know that if you start that legal process against some thief, then that thief is going to name you also. So you will also be caught. This is what's going on in Nagaland. Nobody has the moral authority anymore. Look at our civil societies. Who are they? You tell me. How are they elected? Are they elected by the consent of the people they are supposed to represent? They're all hand-picked puppets of the politicians and the bureaucrats. Look at the undergrounds. They're talking about nationalism. What nationalism are they talking about? They're taxing us for what? So we have become, Nagaland has turned into a society of the morally incompetent. And we are led by these people. It's not a question of tribalism. Where's the tribalism in this? One of the arguments is that in Kohima, when the protests were there, then APO, AYO and all, they stopped, saying that in our jurisdiction. Okay, so in other districts, do the other tribes allow other people to do things? The same. We are the same. We are like that African folk tale about the hippopotamus. He used to insult everyone, saying, "You are an ugly person, ugly, 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 ugly." So the other animals, they brought a mirror and they kept it in the jungle. The hippopotamus saw that mirror, so, "Oh boy, I used to call you ugly, this is the ugliest guy." And Nagas are like that. We don't look at ourselves, okay? Why are we blaming the Angamis at Kohima or Chumudima when we do the same, when I do the same at Navoto, when an Audu does the same at Mokshung? See, very convenient, okay? In my own place I will be boss, but Dimapur must be for everyone. We, instead of educating our people, we are regressing. In every society in the world, rural areas slowly are inducted into urban areas by expansion. We are the towns we have, we are turning it into villages. What is this colony council? What authority do we have under what law? See, we cannot blame only the civil societies or only one aspect. All of us, we are all in this. We are all a part of this. It is by our silence that these people are controlling us. We have to speak out. Moral authority, it's a very nebulous term. We cannot define it, but it exists. Because when you face a person who you know is honest, then you cannot, it's not very easy to threaten him or to extort from him. The reason why Nagaland extortion is so rampant is because when undergrounds come, they target the people who are exploiting others. They don't come to innocent people. Have you ever heard of an underground as an organization threatening someone who is from a clean background, who earns his money honestly? I have one case, I will not name the thing. These people are honest, they have come to me, we have fought against the underground. It's 2 years now. And underground, they ask, but they understand that these people, they are honest. So they cannot threaten or use force.
So, kunba group khandu ko ase chumute ja to ile ekta tribe ke ekla benefit ase. Is that true according to you?
Okay. How so? You tell me. Itu angami kan chumutu na sema kan boste kan misna mala mate so half dikai na. The government has I believe the government has paid for the land. Nobody is giving free for the DC complex. And then when, as I said before, when the government outsources its powers, see, if the land has been compensated for, then finished, it will function as it wants. And are we ready? Itiabra moan protest kule angami khan bra bon kuri bo wadu. Itu kotha nahi ki. Ki issue di protest kuru leze? Na advance prasi. They are saying that in Kohima it happened, and it's going to happen in Chumu. Na that Roko, that Chumu oxygen la hawa la issue. It is not something new. Okay, it was current in Naga society from long time back. It is not Angamis alone who said that. I've heard that phrase from when I was a kid, in the 70s. And that was not in Dimapur or Kohima. I heard it from somewhere else. So why are we making a big issue of it? As if he's the only one who said it. Why don't we go to the roots? No? Always check the roots. Never, we see only the buds, no? And then we act and behave according to that manner. Tariki, it is because that we know that we act like that in our land. No? That's why we are scared that Angamis will act like that in their land. Why can't we insist on the government taking action? See that Eastern Naga and the Roko issue, some people messaged me saying, see, this is a simple police case. You don't have to drag in the tribe, everything. But no, they chose to go the civil society way. And what were they doing? Suddenly, when this Chumu issue came up, again that thing came up, no? That those people are not attending their thing. So we make mountains out of molehills. Okay, small issue, whereas the real mountain comes to corruption, non-performance of government, it want to touch no. Why? Because we're enjoying. Tadi all of enjoy. Yes, na to itu trouble mon na itu.
Okay, sorry, to अपनी law opinions. To the सब ते अपनी एक ता suggestion भी की बात तास नहीं की shifting दे.
See, moi pola manakan hudye, apni kile pola nisna na likhe koi na. Mo alchi lagi jaise. I'm not saying I'm right, but if I'm wrong, then you can think, challenge me. To moi iman issue ti ki ti na, mo iman koi tage likhe aize.
Tired हुई नहीं की. Tired हुई.
Ini frustration भी ऐसे, गुस्सा भी ऐसे, itu की मानू ना, because ना जाना मानू. Ignorance is not sin. Boleh buji boleh mo na thaka, refusal to learn, that is a curse. Itu naga manu lagi. We refuse to learn, we refuse to listen. Society ekta tu bahar pra Allah agin biya koran hidu. Mogan la attitude prana, our attitude. The attitude of the educated of Nagaland. Nagaland tu pura likha manu pra biya kore asde. Bosi manu kan pra noe de. Bosi manu shida tana keti di jai, tana kam guri na ahi gena. Attitude kan pra so whether government tu elibi, underground tu elibi, civil society elibi itu attitude kan pra biya kore asde. Tanto जानेगे न कुरे ऐसे ना जानेगे न कुरान हुई थे ना जानेगे न कुरान हुई तो जानेगे न कुरे ऐसे
So publics kan to government laga itu decision to mani le phal.
oh government in the first place na explain एक verb explanation देने they should have come clearly saying that see this was decision taken in 1997 on these grounds so we are just implementing it वैसे तो खाली बेकु ना कोई एक ता साइड चुकली मारे मोंदो we have become a thing nation of rumor mongers and provocators na direct no कोई आरो social media WhatsApp main to WhatsApp is so prepared. At least Facebook too you can challenge the guy who's saying what no. WhatsApp the forwarded messages could price na jane na. Everybody giving opinion. Ekta to very shocking. Itu ki what committee they form? Itu join ki ekta na. Tare itu president na chairman to same as same sab support koribo lagibo. Itu ki kotha? I don't know who this fellow is. Never heard of him. To ki moi tari support kuru ki ase tadi just because it's things like that. That's how we operate. Na, I'm giving my example. See, I know one person from another tribe. He was saying for me to Chung was better, but because my brothers, now meaning tribe men, are support against it. That is why. Na, Savana, this is how these people manage to control us. Na. The government, very funny government there. Get be transparency, na. All of in on any issue, where there should be no thing. Say this thing. But be manu to in your way jadu. Chor manu to die doughty tagedo, na. You could no live manubra, na. It is no issue. They are always guilty. That's why they always they can never do anything in a straightforward manner.
Often law opinion. The final question to often law opinion the shift hule bhalna bhalna feasible or non-feasible.
See, shifting na. In one way, it is better. But again, that is a temporary thing because there also tadi congestion hoja bole ase to. So Nagaland GP Federation, we do GPS there, but they didn't consult me when they put out that statement that 2 DCs, no. But I saw it on Facebook long before the Nagaland GP Federation proposed it. Okay, somebody said, why can't we have 2 DCs? One urban, one rural. So yeah, why can't we have? What is the big deal? Itu kan ki ho tadi Dimapur town di tahakan. Who gave them right to say only here we can have DC's office? Husa government I say bole na ini shida loija bole so. Or you one protest hatan din na lathi charge kori na na ekiban manu ahi they'll have to pay these people okay to come out. Naga manu di tara protest na payment has sarpra kori de. You will be protest na you want so. Or ekjun dujun pagla khan na husa believe kori no la khani as de it on the pagla khan as. Because the issue is not real, it's not a real issue. It's not something you should spend your time or risk injury for. Non-issue, I said. It's not non-issue.
So according to you, duita thagile to bal
Yeah,
urban.
because we have to think of in terms of the future also. See, it's not going to be the same. Expand hopefully as well.
Yeah, very true.
So might as well, Itiapra. What is wrong in having another DC there? And who are they to object? You, Dimapur town walas, you give me a logical or reasonable explanation why we cannot have two DCs in Dimapur. Holy be tina DC office la jaya khani gobo. Udai office tina abdom government la fan kot aise keep up project aise nai na itu kan tu udai thage do. Hey, haunted house tina saitan thakani se itu kan tu government office la saitan kan. It is there in all offices across India, across India. Dalal kan na. For them to, it has to be near them. No? Or so that it so that they can control everything. Na. What idea?
Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome. Thank you for.